Hello, grade 4 learners. My name is Teacher L, and welcome to our science class, Quarter 3, Week 7, Sources and Uses of Sound Energy, How to Protect Oneself from Intense Sound. Now, take a look at this picture. What do you think the kids are doing? That's right, they are talking and whispering to each other. But have you ever wondered how we are able to talk and hear sounds? Now, how do these kids communicate with each other? Yes, they use their voices to speak and their ears to listen. This is all possible because of sound. What is sound? Great! Sound is a type of energy that we can hear. It helps us communicate, listen to music, and even stay safe by hearing alarms or warnings. Now, how do we use sound to speak and hear? Exactly. When we talk, our vocal cords produce sound, and our ears help us hear. This allows us to understand each other. Now, let's think about animals. They also use sound to communicate. Can you give examples of how animals use sound to communicate? Okay, that's right. Birds chirp to call their friends, dogs bark to express emotions, and dolphins use clicks and whistles to talk to each other. So today, we will explore how sound energy works and why is it important in our daily lives. Are you ready to learn more? Let's get started. This time, let's take a moment to understand three important terms today. Energy. Energy is the ability to do work. This means that energy makes things happen. The sun, as the principal source of energy for the earth, makes other forms of energy possible. Energy transfer. Energy transfer is the process of moving energy from place to place or from one object to another. But the form of energy does not change. Sound energy. Sound energy is a form of energy we can hear. It is an energy created when matter vibrates. Vibrations are very fast back and forth movements that you cannot see but can sometimes feel. So understanding these terms will help us about the sources of sound energy. Now, let us perform three types of clap and observe how each clap sounds. Let's begin. Soft clap. So gently bring your hands together. Normal clap. So clap as you usually do. Loud clap. Clap your hands with more force. Great job. Now, let's think about what just happened. So what happens when you clap your hands? That's right. When we clap, our hands hit each other and create sound. So this happens because of vibrations. So how does the force and speed of your clap affect the sound? Yes, the harder you clap, the louder the sound. The faster you clap, the quicker the sounds repeat. But if you clap softly or slowly, the sound is quieter. So this activity shows us that sound depends on how strong and fast an object moves. So we'll explore this idea more as we continue. Look at this picture. What do you see? That's right. The children are using a simple tin can walkie-talkie with a string. Now let's think about how this works. Can the students hear each other in the picture? If you think they can, how does that happen? If you think they can't, why not? So look closely at the picture. Are there any signs showing if sound is moving between the students? Okay, great observations. So this activity helps us understand how sound travels. So let's explore more about it. Now, let's learn more about how sound travels through different materials. I have a short reading material for you titled The Stuff in Our World. So this will help us understand the different types of matter, solid, liquid, and gas, and how they affect the way sound moves. So let's begin. The stuff in our world. Things in our world take up space and have some weight. There are three common types of stuff or matter: solid, liquid, and gas. A jacket, chair, and cup are all examples of solids. You can't put your hand through a solid. If you had microscope eyes, you would see tiny particles in solids are packed together tightly. Water, juice, and oil are all examples of liquids. We can move our hands through liquids, like swimming in a pool. Tiny particles in liquids are not packed as tightly as solids, so we can move in between them. Two examples of gases are the air that we breathe and helium in birthday balloons. We can also move through gases. Particles in gases are not close together. The spacing of the particles makes sound to travel much faster through a solid than a gas. This time, let us answer the following questions. What are the three types of matter? Very good. The three types of matter are solid, liquid, and gas. Now, how do the particles in each state behave? Okay, so in solids, the particles are packed tightly together, so they don't move much. In liquids, the particles are a little spread out so they can move around. In gases, the particles are very far apart and move in all directions. Now, why does sound travel faster in solids? Sound travels faster in solids because the particles are closer together. This helps the sound move quickly from one particle to another. Before we continue our discussion, pause this video and watch the YouTube video using the link. How sound travels across different mediums. And after that, let us answer the following questions. How do you think sound energy travels through matter? Okay, sound travels by making things vibrate. The vibrations move through solids, liquids, or gases until they reach our ears. Now, which matter, solid or gas, does sound travel through best and why? Sound travels best through solids because the particles are close together, so the sound moves faster. Now let's do an experiment to observe how sound moves. First, put your ear on the table and gently knock on it. Listen carefully. Now, lift your head so your ears are in the air and knock again. Now, answer the following guide questions. In which condition do you hear a louder sound? Why do you think sound is louder when your ear is on the table? What does this tell us about how sound travels through different materials? Remember, the sound energy is produced when objects vibrate. These vibrations create waves that move through different materials. When you place your ear on the table, the sound travels through the solid wood, reaching your ears faster and louder than through the air. This shows that sound moves faster through solids than gases. But be careful, too much loud sound can harm our ears. That's why it's important to protect our hearing and avoid very loud noises. So let's learn more about how sound travels and why we hear things the way we do. Let's go on a sound safari. Our world is full of different sounds. Some are loud, some are soft, and some we don't even notice right away. So I ask you to listen carefully at home and list different sources of sound energy. Let's take a look at what you discovered. Now, let's think about these questions. What were the most common sources of sound energy? Did you hear any surprising sounds? How do we use sound energy in different ways? And are there any sounds that are harmful to our ears? Sound is everywhere. We use it to talk, listen, communicate, and even have fun, like listening to music or watching television. But not all sounds are good for us. Loud noises like sirens or fireworks can harm our ears if we're not careful. That's why it's important to protect our hearing. Now, each of you will choose one source of sound that interests you. It could be anything, a car horn, birds chirping, or a video game sound. Once you've chosen your sound, you will research and answer these key questions. To wrap up today's lesson, remember that sound is all around us and it's an important part of life. From the music we enjoy to the sounds of nature, to the everyday noises of the city, sound energy shapes our environment. But just like anything, it's important to be mindful of how much noise we're exposed to so we can protect our hearing and mental health. Now answer the following questions and write the letter of the correct answer in your notebook. Good job, grade 4. Until next time, have a wonderful day.